snack has played a huge part in my training camp. The protein, the ZMA, everything, the pre-workout, it's played such a major part in my training camp, keeping me healthy, keeping me recovered, keeping me feeling good, strong, and ready for my next workout.
Manny Pacquiao's time in the sport is now up. You were one of the last people to fight him. He fought Ugas and he lost, and he announced his retirement, I want to say last week. Overall, what's your reaction to Manny Pacquiao announcing his retirement, Keith? Because you had a tremendous fight with him when you guys fought.
Yeah, man. I mean, everybody has their time. Right before he fought me, he was a very active fighter. You know, despite his age, he was active and he was mobile. He was moving around. The 2-year layoff, you know, definitely couldn't help somebody who competed at the age of 40 against me, and then is now trying to compete again at 42. Hence, he was also supposed to go against an undefeated welterweight, you know, the top of his game, Errol Spence, you know, leading up into the fight. Yeah, so, you know, I did Sean Porter and then Danny Garcia. That's I have to admit, doing Keith Thurman and then Errol Spence is a step above that, you know, as far as overall back-to-back punchers. So it would have been a big risk. I know Errol can't feel good sitting back on a missed opportunity. But at the end of the day, we saw what Pacquiao had. You know, the fans were still out there. The fans were still supporting him. And, you know, styles makes fights. You know, we know in boxing what Cuban boxers mean to the whole world of boxing, you know, let alone, you know, so it could have really, to me, Ugas is not a no-named Cuban, but it could have been a no-name Cuban and you still might have got the same performance. You know, let's say Andeslari, is it Andeslari Laura? Is that who I'm thinking of? Mm-hmm. Right? Let's say when he was 147, let's say Pacquiao had to fight him. Could Pacquiao really beat that kind of fighter? You know, styles makes fights in general, especially for a fighter like Pacquiao. He's shown it multiple times throughout his career. But he's done so much in the sport. I mean, he could have left, you know, he could have left whenever he wanted to, and it would have been good. On the telecast, we were talking about how in the lightweight division, he was already a Hall of Famer. You know, it's like he's made the Hall of Fame more than once, the way that his career ended up, you know. Yeah, you can split his career and give it to two different guys and you end up with two Hall of Famers. So, I mean, Manny Pacquiao is just a legend. He's brought a whole brand new country to the sport of boxing. I have Filipino fans because of Manny Pacquiao, you know, because they love the way that I fought my fight, even though they always respect Manny and Manny brought them all into the sport. They still, you know, they love skills and talent. They know I'm young. They know I still got more fights, so they can keep cheering for me and look forward to watching my future in the sport till the day that I'm done. But yeah, man, you know, if he's really gone, salute you, you know, salute. Everything was done right. He put his real heart into it, and you just got to respect it.
In terms of the fight that he had with Ugas, and I might be incorrect, I saw someone tweet at me saying that you felt the fight was a draw. Me scoring at ringside, I thought the fight was a draw also, but I was a little further back. How did you see the Ugas fight with Manny?
I had the fight to a draw in a certain round. Mm-hmm. When I was commenting, I was making comments live at a certain portion of the fight. So the fight wasn't over, and then I said I thought it was a draw. Mm-hmm. So whoever tweeted that didn't like that at that point. I still had it at a draw, you know. And it wasn't even a real draw because I had a swing bout in there anyways. I had a swing bout. And by the time I got to, you know, towards the end, no matter how you want to score it, Ugas won by 2 points, by 2 rounds, you know. So I just didn't see Pacquiao able to do enough in the later rounds. You know, I was able to take over for the majority of the later rounds. I really showed up in the later rounds on Pacquiao. I just don't think the 2-year layoff really helped him. You know, his legs didn't seem as jumpy. You know, he said he was having some leg issues or whatever. But it matters. You know, Ugas is one of the biggest welterweights in the welterweight division outside of Errol Spence. They both have long jabs, and Ugas was able to utilize that long jab in the match. You know, work on fundamentals. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, especially when you're in sparring, but when you're in a real boxing match, you know, if a certain punch is landing, you might as well keep throwing that punch, you know, until for whatever reason it's not landing no more. You know, it's not your fault he doesn't know how to block a straight right hand or a long jab or a body shot. Whatever they're giving to you, and they just have a bad habit of keep giving you that, you got to take advantage, you know. And I just think Ugas was very fundamental and stayed solid, and that's why the judges weren't able to give Pacquiao that much, and he wasn't able to jump in and do the flurries that could even, you know, give him credit for offense. He wasn't doing that, you know. He wasn't able to do that. As you know, Ugas, we can say Ugas shut that down. We can say he just didn't have his legs, but you know, at the end of the day, it was his last performance. You know, we see him try. You know, I think he pushed the action more than Ugas pushed the action. I think Ugas was just being fundamental and really making his reach and his abilities apparent. I think Ugas was a slow starter. I think he finished strong. And I think Pacquiao faded towards the end. You know.
Yeah, Manny was having a lot of trouble with the distance.
Yeah, he was having a lot of trouble with the distance, you know. I mean, Ugas was staying in the middle of the ring, you know. It was fundamental, and that's why kind of when after going into the 5th round, if I kind of have it at a draw or even towards the 6th round, but Ugas really picked up. He didn't keep boxing that simple, that passive throughout the whole fight. He was very passive and simple in the first half of the fight. He really opened up, started letting those right hands go, started winging those weird little the hook.
Yeah, the overhand.
Overhand hook, straight, long punch, whatever. I saw it a mile away, but you know. You know, and I was sitting a mile away, and I saw it.
And you saw it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.